Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Merry Christmas for any of you out there that celebrate it. For those of you who don't, happy holidays. And I hope you're enjoying the time off. Yeah, if you're in school,
Look, man,
make sure you're sleeping.
it's Christmas. You don't need to be religious to celebrate Christmas.
No, you don't. But a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people get upset being wished Merry Christmas in my line
they're
of work.
stupid.
It is, but it's actually happened just the other week. One of my clients came in, and that's just leaving. What we usually avoid saying it at my work because in my line of work, 95% of our clients are Asian, usually Indian or Bangladesh or Sri Lankan, and we kind of avoid the standard Merry Christmas. We always kind of say Happy Holidays. A lot of them end up replying Merry Christmas because they know that we're pretty much all the employees are Christian. One of them, my dad is very, what's the word? He doesn't think about that kind of stuff to say Happy Holidays instead. He said Merry Christmas to the client. And she left a review saying that she felt very offended that she was included in the belief that she celebrates Christmas. Yada, yada, yada. A bunch of shit, basically.
What a wuss. Let me guess, she was Asian too? Or Indian or something?
She was
what a fucking embarrassment.
I think she was about 30 odd.
God damn.
And she just she left. So after every treatment, you get an email. It says, "Oh, would you like to give a review?" She gave a 5 out of 5 for the therapist, but then she added on the end of it a little tab saying, "Don't appreciate being wished Merry Christmas when it's very clearly not my religion." Da 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 da.
How do you know it's not though? Like it's not very clear about anyone unless they're like specifically wearing religious attire.
That's the thing. She wasn't. But even then, like,
I mean,
it's
did
not
she have
a
a
big of a deal.
yarmulke or something? Jesus.
And at the end of the day, as well, like at the time, it is still a Christmas period, so Merry Christmas is still right. I've been wished Happy Diwali. I don't celebrate it, but I'm like, yo,
Happy
Dude, I
Diwali,
get
wished Merry Christmas, but like I don't celebrate, but like it's fine to do it.
Exactly. It's a nice thing to say, but so we kind of we've had a few clients like that over the years, so I'm kind of just conditioned to just say Happy Holidays for most of the time, unless I know the person either doesn't care or celebrates Christmas.
Bunch of bitches.
Yeah.
Losers.
But that's how. So I hope everyone is having a nice break. Like I said, those of you at school, make sure you use this time to actually rest because I know you lot have been working very hard. And those of you who hardly work, yeah, either or. There's a hard in there somewhere. And those of you who are working over the period of Christmas, well, sucks to be you, but thank you. You are keeping our takeaways alive.
Aren't you working during Christmas?
No. We close 21st to the 4th.
Oh, fair enough.
It's the only time of the year that we're actually off. And it's nice. It's the only time of the year that I actually really... I don't care for Christmas myself, but having that 2 weeks off, a break from dumbass clients is amazing and it feels good. So, yeah. Looking forward. We always take 2 weeks off because there's a period. Me and my family used to go back to South Africa at this point, but we don't do that anymore. But yeah, so it's gonna be great. Gonna be nice. I'm gonna be sleeping. I'm probably gonna have the most backward sleeping pattern. It's gonna be great. So those of you on the server, you won't see me at 10 a.m. My team will see me at like 5 p.m. and at like 4 a.m. Yeah.
Nice. So this week we're going to be talking about Shang-CHI. I know we've talked about it in the past, but this time Dev and Marissa have been able to see the movie. We will also be talking about Hawkeye. The first 4 episodes of Hawkeye, we've been very busy, so we haven't all been able to watch the 5th one. So you'll get the review when you get the review for the 5th one. We will do an overall series review at some point. So look forward to that.
How many episodes is Hawkeye going to be in total?
6.
Okay, yeah, so you'll get the other 2 at the end of the show when we do those.
Well, no, we won't. They won't get it at the end of the show.
Yeah, at the very end of the credits of the final episode, it's going to fade into our podcast and us talking about the show.
You will get it.
He organized that. He's got Disney.
You will get it early 2022. I will say that.
Motherfucker said early 2022. You'll get it March 31st, first quarter.
Yo, get it when you fucking get it. No, the plan is to within the first week of 2022 because obviously we're going on break. we're gonna want to not do this because we want to be on break, So yeah, any complaints could be sent to your local trash can. All right, Dev, go ahead and start with the little blurb of Shang-Chi.
So we've got live action Dragon Ball, basically.
That is a good.
There we go. So where is the synopsis? Yeah, the Wikipedia ain't got the synopsis. It's just got the whole last plot. I don't want to read the entire plot.
Fair enough. Okay, let's see. Quick blurb.
Martial arts master Shang-Chi confronts the past he thought he left behind when he's drawn into the web of mysterious Ten Rings organization. Basically, Goku tries to live his life, and then
Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, Red Ribbon Army turns her up and like, hey yo, fuck shit up.
Where's my money, fam? Where's my money? Yeah. So, guys, since me and King kind of talked about this before, we'll go with Marissa first since she's the child of the group. Marissa, what did you think of the movie? Was it too violent? Was it too scary?
No.
Motherfuckers are too scary. What?
Yeah, I like it so far.
Okay. What did you think of the actor who's playing Shang-Chi, Simu Lu or Simu Lu? Sorry if I missaid it.
What is there to think about him?
like, what do you think of his portrayal of Shang-Chi? Do you think he's doing good? Do you think... what do you think of general? What do you think of the movie overall?
I'm halfway through it, man.
Yes, but what do you think of it overall so far?
It's cool.
That is... okay.
I'm not good at movie reviews.
Well, it's not really a review, just what you think, but fair enough. Dev, what do you think of the movie?
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I will say though, the first 15 minutes, first 20 minutes, it felt a little bit slow. I kind of watched it on a whim one night because I didn't really have... I was watching Everybody Hates Chris. My site went down. So I was like, oh shit. So I said, all right, let me just watch Shang-Chi because I got a couple of hours. But once it got going, it really did get going. And as the movie went on, it just got a lot more enjoyable and a lot more... the fight scenes were incredible. A lot of good choreography. And the comedy in it had me laughing. The ABC joke cracked me up when man was speaking Mandarin and then he's like, I don't speak Chinese. Oh, I speak ABC, don't worry. Bruv, holy shit, that had me in stitches, fam. I did find out later on that ABC wasn't a reference to the alphabet, but a reference to American-born Chinese. But I'm going to pretend I didn't find that out, and I'm going to find it funny because they mean ABC as in just our alphabet is ABC. Because that had me in stitches, bro.
I mean, that's a double insult then. Damn.
Yeah, it had me in stitches, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I rewound to hear it again because it made me laugh so much. And I was kind of expecting a retort of some sort, for them to kind of reply and say something like, "Oh, I don't speak pictures" or something like that. Never came, but maybe in Shang-Chi too. I will say one of the things that made me laugh the most was when Shang-Chi was explaining his like past, and then his name changed from Shang to Sean.
Yeah.
I kind of paused for a second in my head and I was like, hold up. This motherfucker, bruh. Made me laugh though.
So he's the motherfucking assassin, and he's like, "No, I'm Sean now. Sean."
Are you Shang-Chi? No, I'm Sean. No G. You. I will say that none of the film felt like anything was forced in terms of the comedy, so the comedy was really good. And like I mentioned, the choreography was really good, and I felt like the choreography was a very huge focus for the directors, because you could tell that it wasn't typically when you watch action movies, sometimes the fights are kind of very linear, where one person runs at them at a time and he just does some jujitsu, and then the next one, and then the next one, or they all go in at one go, but then the guy's like overpowers in one go. This was very well choreographed in the sense that every fight that happened was a unique pattern within the fight. It wasn't just the same thing over and over. Especially, I won't spoil too much because Marissa, but especially the final one that happened with everyone that was involved. A lot was good in that. I gave it a solid 9. The only reason I'd probably not give it a 10 is just because of the slow start that I felt it had. But once it picked up, it picked up. And I didn't. There's no character that I hated. Even the villain characters, I kind of liked them. They were like pretty cool. And this is
you understood his motivation.
Yeah, exactly. But also the idea that as a villain, he was actually pretty well written. He wasn't just written to be hated, and he wasn't just written for the sake of being evil. So you kind of get his backstory in it, and it made me appreciate him a bit more. I still think that his reasoning was a little bit silly, but it didn't bother me, really. I still enjoyed it. And this was pretty much the Dragon Ball live action that I have always wanted.
It really was. It really was. The last fucking attack was basically that. It really was a Kamehameha of Whirlwind. I will say this about the opening sequence though. They kind of did make me do a double take, because he's putting on the fancy suits. He's putting on, I think, the cufflinks or whatever, and then you see the car, and you're like, "Oh, this motherfucker driving this," but no, motherfucker's a valet. He's the one.
Yeah.
So that shit kind of was like, all right, this is a little twist. That's good. But yeah, it did start a little slower. It did pick up with the bus sequence. That shit was
Once that
That
sequence
was
happened,
cool.
then the movie started to get going for me, because everything before that is what was kind of slow for me. I understand it was done properly because that's what it was. That's how the story's told. But I was kind of like, can something happen? You're the fucking man of his, where he can change his arm into like any weapon.
No, you don't got a hand, bro. He got a blade.
This motherfucker. I'm telling you, this man can attach anything, man. This man's like go-go gadget, fam. Man's like go-go fucking whisk. Go-go fucking toothbrush.
Hey, yo, that'd be pretty cool.
Reminds me of the guy from Full Metal Alchemist in the northern region. That was cool. But yeah.
It was a great movie overall. Kig, do you want to give a quick review, and then we'll just go in detail?
If I had to say anything negative about the movie, it would really only be that I felt that a lot of the green screen effects were not very good. That's probably the biggest criticism I have. Otherwise, I thought that the Mandarin character, or rather Wenwu, was a very good villain. Definitely among the best we've seen. I wouldn't quite put him up there with like Thanos necessarily, but like definitely like the next tier. I would also add that as a first introduction movie, it would be pretty solid. I thought Aquafina's character Katie was pretty good too. Generally speaking, I don't have any like major criticisms of the movie. I thought the martial arts stuff was fantastic. Story was like sufficiently compelling. The action was really good. I'm pretty happy with the movie overall. The only thing I would say is that in the sequel, I would look forward to more world building. I don't know if we'll get back to that whole secret village thing. I feel like we might have done enough of that so far. But yeah, so far so good. I look forward to the next thing. I thought the end credit scene was pretty good. The whole thing with Wong and Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner. Solid stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing much more major to say about it. A very good Marvel movie. Not the best we've seen, obviously, but a very promising start to a series.
Yeah, yeah. I have similar sentiments to you guys. I thought it was a very good movie. It gave us more representation, but in a good way. It didn't feel forced. It's more like, here's this guy. He's got a fucked up past. You'll learn about it as we go through, but it never seemed to be forced like some shows or movies try to do.
Where does it take place in the timeline?
Uh, it takes place after Endgame, I think. Um, while I looked that up, I think one thing that I was worried about was Aquafina's character because she is a comedian, and I thought they'd do the thing they did with Kat Dennings where they kind of forced it in Thor, forced the humor in Thor, but it worked very well with her, which was good.
I think part of it is also because she is a comedian too. She's just built her whole thing by being funny, being on SNL before it went to shit, but doing funny stuff on YouTube. She's done stuff with Kim Ji-young, who's hilarious, and in general, like yeah, I thought that it fit pretty well. Granted, I like some of the Ragnarok humor, but I think that she did really well like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
will just add though, like the only part I didn't like was that whole random thing about singing Hotel California. It was nice, but at the same time, like I just felt like it would have been funnier if we didn't already have basically the exact same joke in Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, yeah. I kind of liked it because I like the song "Hotel California," but I can see where you're coming
Oh, I
from.
like the song too. It's a good song. I just mean like the scene would be funnier if we didn't already be like, okay, well that's literally what Star-Lord did in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I forgot what happened in Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't.
Well, Ronan was about to destroy the planet with the Power Stone
He,
or whatever, and then
but
Star-Lord
he did a
started singing
dance
and
off.
dancing. What?
Yeah, yeah. It
He
was
was
a
singing
dance
and
off.
dancing
Oh, okay.
because he was
Okay,
singing.
fair.
I don't remember the name of the song, but yeah, you'll remember it if you watch it again.
Dev, to answer your question, the movie takes place 2 years after Thanos' snap and 3 years before Avengers Endgame.
Okay, so it's in the middle.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
This movie, this movie's timeline is 2 years after Thanos' snap.
So 2020?
Yes, and 3 years before Avengers Endgame.
I don't.
Huh?
Are you sure? Where'd you read
Yeah,
that?
I read that on Screen Rant.
Where are they basing that off of? Because in the beginning of the movie, the girl and her husband that they're talking to in the restaurant literally says, "We're at a point where half of the population could snap out of existence at any time." Like this is.
Yeah, exactly. That's and where. When does that
But
happen?
well,
That happens
it doesn't
after
have.
this.
But
It hap-
my point there is like I did take this to mean that the film happens in 2023, like post Endgame, only because everyone's like referencing it. And because here's the thing: in 2023, you can see the cities. The cities are still like desolate. There's like cars and shit all over the place, and it's basically nothing. But like it's very lively in this movie, so I don't think that it could be pre-Endgame.
Eternals takes place after Endgame.
It does, yes.
This one doesn't. I don't think it
I know.
does. We'll figure
Well,
it. Okay,
I think it does because it's too lively not to.
it's San Francisco though. Even if you take away half the population, it's still overcrowded as fuck.
I mean, yeah, but like, what about all the cars and crap?
I mean, the cars don't get snapped.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's my point. Like the cars should be like all over the streets and stuff, like because they still are in 2023 when we look ahead in Endgame. But somehow in 2020, San Francisco, they're not. That's what I'm saying. I think this is a post Endgame movie.
We'll figure it out when Kevin Feige tells us. We'll tell you, Dev.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
That's just
Let
one
me hit
thing,
him.
but like, yeah.
Let
I
me hit
get where
him
you're
up.
coming from too. I don't think it's necessarily impossible that it's pre-Endgame, but I feel like it has to be post-Endgame because the girl's whole family is still all there, right? So I would think that that means they have to have been snapped back to life because it's just it's quite a big coincidence. I mean, granted, it happened with Spider-Man, but you know,
Yeah, fair enough. Do we want to talk any specific plot points of the movie?
Nothing.
No, I agree with you guys
Yet.
earlier. I thought Razor Fist was pretty awesome. The big guy with the sword hand. He, for those who don't know, he also played the son of Ivan Drago in Creed 2. Pretty big ass dude.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking huge. No plot points we want to discuss. Maybe the sister's motivation towards the end and what she does.
Honestly, I thought that was fine. She's been saying like in the previous parts of the movie, like she wanted to train, but her dad wouldn't let her because she was a girl, and she reminded him of her mom, and it's like, okay, no, we're just gonna. She takes it over. Now she's gonna have like the men and the women working together, and they're gonna, fight together. I think that's fine. It just sets it up for a nice sequel.
Or a spin-off show. We never know.
Possibly, but I wouldn't see that happening.
Fair enough. Okay. So if we have nothing else to talk about, we could move on to
Hawkeye?
the Eye of Hawk. Yes.
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
okay. Cool.
Marvel Arrow.
This is better
This
than
fuck-
Marvel's than Arrow, in my opinion.
I prefer Arrow as a character, but this is definitely more well written.
Season 5 of Arrow tops this. Okay.
I actually dropped Arrow at the end of season 4.
Who was the villain in season 5?
The guy who was always 2 steps ahead or 10 steps ahead. Remember the ladder? The island?
Wyatt
Remember the
something?
island?
Oh, yes. Okay,
No,
yeah,
so you dropped it at the worst season, which is respectable, and I understand because season 4 was a train wreck, especially because Mark Guggenheim was always organic, the corn underground, which made no sense whatsoever, but it's fine, whatever. And Damien Dark, it didn't matter, it was trash. Season 5 though, magnificent.
Season 5 was fucking good.
That was great.
It was
Fucking
so good.
great. It's fucking greatest thing I've ever seen. DC ways. But yeah, we're not talking DC because DC shits the bed 90% of the time.
Which is unfortunate. When they hit well. But
yeah, when they hit,
that's like 10%
they do
of the
a
time.
fine job when they hit. I wouldn't say they hit out of the park, but they're good enough.
Oh yeah, it's I will agree to disagree there. I think when they hit really well.
Yeah.
Black Man. I loved Man of Steel. I loved the Snyder Cut. I loved Wonder Woman, the first one, not the second one. And
it's just a shame that they hit maybe once in a blue moon.
Yep, basically. Anyway, Hawkeye season. Well, I don't know if it's a season 1 or 2. So yeah, the series, because I don't know if there's gonna be a new series. There is 4 episodes. We're gonna just go break them down section by section. Episode 1, Never Meet Your Heroes. So we start off with a flashback of how Kate was introduced to Clint, aka Hawkeye. And from there, we basically have this little auction, this charity auction gala with her mom. And that's where she learned some stuff about her mom. And she stumbles onto the underground gala where the Ronin cloak and sword are. And then from there, Tracksuit Mafia come out, which is a Russian street gang. We get introduced to Lucky. I think his name was Lucky, right?
I believe so.
The dog.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
and then
I was
shenanigans.
Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog.
Yeah, it's Lucky the Pizza Dog.
And then from there, and I'm again, guys, watch the episode. I'm giving brief just so we could have a refresher. She fights the little Tracksuit Mafia, and she sees that somebody murdered Armand, which was one of the characters that was in the gala.
Yeah.
And that's when, as all that is happening, Clint is with his family, and his kids point out that, look, Dad, the Ronin's back, and he's like confused because he's like, how the fuck could he be back if I'm the Ronin? So yeah, that's the end of episode 1. That was a super brief summary. Who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about what they thought about the introduction of Kate and the entire Ronin experience she had? Anyone?
I don't think there was a whole lot to say about it. Literally, it was just she gets caught up in this underground mafia kind of thing, and then puts on the suit to kick some ass, and then later down the line, she gets found out by Hawkeye. Although I will say, what's it called? I didn't fully get the whole thing yet, but about the mafia. But I think that's also something in the episodes I haven't watched yet.
Okay.
What's really up to? But I figured you guys probably know that better than I do right now.
Yeah, a little bit. They did cover it in episode 3.
Your mic, Spidey, is bugging.
Okay.
The first episode was great. As I've mentioned to everyone before, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, but this show has really caught my eye, especially from episode 1. Kate, as a character, I think she's a good character, and she's been well played and well written. I find her a little bit annoying, but not enough to not like her. It's more just sometimes the way she acts. I'm kind of just like, okay, let's just do something else now. But I think it suits the character very well, and I think it's a very nice contrast to what's his name, Clint. The whole Ronin situation popping back up now is pretty interesting as well. I'm intrigued by this. The two's dynamic is very fun. I love their dynamic, and you can see it right from the get-go. And I've got to say that her fight scene was very good. I think she did very well in that.
Yes. I guess nobody's brought this up yet, but Marissa, what did you think of her introduction? We see her as a kid, and she sees Clint, and she's like, "Oh, this guy's fucking cool, albeit bow and arrow." And then we go to the present, and she's got a bow and arrow, and she's trying to hit a bell, her school bell.
Why didn't she run after that? Like, she should have just dipped. Like, why would you stay there?
I agree, but at the same time, can you guys also explain to me why did she do that? Does that get explained?
It was a bet between
That was basically
her
a
and her classmates.
Yeah, she wanted to prove that she could do it.
Oh.
Yeah. She was basically like, you can't do it. I was like, yeah, I can.
Bet.
Prove it. Yeah, basically bet. Let's go. 3 o'clock.
I think it was quite funny, but it was that's kind of the part of her character that kind of but then again, she's young and a kid, so she's gonna make stupid mistakes, and that's a big stupid mistake. But it portrayed her skill, so
I'm liking that. Well, at least in the first episode, it shows that she has the confidence in her abilities, and it's kind of, you need to be that confident and show that amount of skill if you're gonna be like Hawkeye and basically be a master archer. One thing that kind of surprised me was the mom's like, "Oh yeah, I had to pay the bell. It was priceless, but it's fine. I paid it." Like, where the fuck you get that kind of money? First of all,
rich.
I mean, I think the priceless part was probably an exaggeration, but where she gets the money from, I think it does signify that she's involved in some kind of criminal underworld activities, right? And that's how she's been able to maintain their lifestyle with the father dead.
Well, we don't know outright, but yeah, I do agree that there's.
I mean, that's what I'm suspecting based on what I've seen.
She's basically like, she reminds me of Thea Queen
from Arrow. For those who don't know.
Wouldn't she be more like Moira though?
Nah.
No, yeah, Moira's the mom, so I think that's
what I meant.
Nah, I'm talking about
because
Kate.
she was sleeping with the CFO or whatever.
No, I'm talking about Kate. Kate reminds me
Oh,
of
Kate.
Thea Queen,
Okay.
the way
Well,
she's
I mean,
behaving.
honestly, I like Kate more than Thea, but yeah, fair enough.
Oh, season 1 Thea annoyed me. She was hot, but she annoyed me. But I
I
mean,
mean, no,
in
like
terms
even
of
season 3, 4, but fair, whatever. I'm not gonna
in
argue.
terms of just her kind of overall behavior, kind of immature. She's a bit self-centered on how she is because she's got the confidence and all of that. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but there's the parallels there. So I think part of why I find it a little bit annoying is because I'm thinking of also Thea from season 1, which was annoying.
This happens in the episode too. Who do you think the watch belongs to? Because they're episode 1. We meet the tracksuit mafia, and they're like, "We gotta get the watch. We gotta get the watch." Who do you guys think the watch belongs to?
Wait, so have they not announced it yet?
No, they haven't.
He gave clues, but he didn't straight out say it.
Oh, okay. So,
Even the clues are vague as shit. If I'm being honest.
Exactly.
well, I mean, so based on what some rumors I've read on the internet, potential spoilers too, could it be that it belongs to the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk?
No, because in episode 4 he mentions that the person who it belongs to will be in very big trouble and they'll be leaked basically or doxxed.
Okay. But why
If
couldn't that be Wilson Fisk?
because the implication is it's one of the Avengers or somebody within the Avengers. Basically, the way he words it to her.
It's as if the information that would get out would be detrimental to the good side of the law and the
Oh,
people
okay.
within that.
So, like, maybe Nick
Maybe it's
Fury?
Iron Man's information. Maybe
I doubt it's Iron Man
no,
because
but like
he's
information
dead, but
about his tech.
I'm thinking like Nick Fury then, or
Or
someone
Nick,
like
yeah.
that.
I want more Nick Fury, bro. That man's great.
Also, sorry, Spidey, we're tangenting back because of me right now, but I just had another thought about what's it called, Shang-Chi. I think it has to be post Endgame because Bruce Banner's arm in the post-credit scene is injured, right? And that's what happened after Hulk made the blip snap.
Do we know how long after the? Do we know how long after the end fight? I don't.
Shang-Chi
Yeah, you're
is-
probably.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but like at the same time, like remember in the She-Hulk trailer, it's still injured.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
So we're gonna go with after Endgame.
Yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
after Endgame.
Okay.
Sorry for the distraction, but yeah, I just thought of that too.
Fair enough. All right. I don't think we have much more to add in episode 1. We talked about the Bell scene. We talked about the shady mom. We talked about Jack. Oh, what do you guys think of Jack? Your first thoughts on Jack?
Who was Jack again?
Yeah, I don't remember.
The guy she's marrying.
He's the like
Oh, yeah.
easy guy. He
Oh,
was at the
Duquesne.
auction.
The sword guy.
He stole the sword, but yeah.
Yeah, Jack Duquesne.
Duquesne.
I like saying Duquesne.
Wait, is Duquesne his last name?
Yeah, but it's spelled Duquesne. So I say Duquesne.
Oh,
It
okay.
sounds
To
funnier.
differentiate him from
Yeah.
Armand Duquesne. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
Now, on first look, my man just looks like Dr. Eggman, bruv. We just got Dr. Eggman. We're watching Sonic 3. I saw his look and I was like, yo, this is Dr. Eggman before he lost his hair and became completely evil. And then as the episode went on, the more I thought about the character, the more I couldn't stop seeing Dr. Eggman. But I was intrigued by him, especially because of his name. And I'll say more about it later in the other episodes.
Anybody else?
I can't particularly think of anything.
All right, I guess I don't have time to eat. Okay, episode 2, hide and seek. Bishop takes Barton back to her apartment, but is attacked by the tracksuit mafia. Because the last episode ended with Clint basically
He was in the
confronting
alleyway. Yeah.
confronting her. The pair is forced to evacuate, leaving the Ronin suit after relocating to the apartment of Kate's aunt. Barton sends his children home, promising to be home for Christmas. He escorts Kate to her work, and he recovers a Ronin suit at a LARP event. And then basically Kate and Jack have a little fencing duel, and
Kate goes ham.
she does. The episode ends with Clint being captured, and we get a teaser of Maya Lopez.
This is the one where he was captured by the tracksuit lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, holy shit. The
All right, Dab, go
tracksuit
first.
gang had me in stitches, bro. Oh my days. The tracksuit gang is fucking funny. The whole entire fucking episode when they were on shit was fun. So when they're in the fucking, when he's been captured, right, and they're talking, Clint's talking to the fucking tracksuit lot, and they're going through, and the motherfucker goes, Kate Bishop is guy, bro. Kate Bishop is not a guy. And then Clint is like, can I talk to your manager? See, you're the shift manager. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the boss. All those little like jabs just made me laugh, because also the Russians are like the perfect people at playing not necessarily villains, like, you know, the most evil villains, but the comical villains, because of the way they do it, and it's so fucking funny. And then when she falls through the fucking roof, man's like, bro, I found her. Holy shit, I started dying. I couldn't contain myself, bro. They're such a funny group. And I think they might be probably my favorite antagonists in the MCU.
Yeah, bro. Yo, bro. She's the Ronin, bro. Dude.
Kate Bishop is guy. Kate Bishop is not guy. Kate Bishop is guy. Oh my god, it was so fucking fun. I could not stop laughing, and that entire scene, I had to like rewatch it.
They're the standout of the series so far, if I'm being honest. They're so hilarious. King or Mercy, you guys want to talk about the episode overall and your thoughts?
I'll be honest, episode 2 I didn't think was as interesting.
Seriously?
I liked
No, I'm
it.
trying to remember what happened. I forgot.
I just read it what happened.
Tommy doesn't
Yeah, I
like
know.
Eggman, bro.
Wait, what?
Wait, King, you didn't like the tracksuit mafia throw that Molotov? Clint catches it and throws it
Throws
back
it
at
back.
them?
It was in the trailer though, so I wasn't like, oh my god. If it was in the trailer, so I wasn't surprised or nothing. I did like it.
One thing we didn't talk about for the first episode is the Rogers musical.
I thought that was lame.
God, that was painful
it
to
was.
watch.
It was bad.
I felt his pain.
I don't know why people on like social media were like, "Oh my god, this is so funny! I want to see a real life version of this." I'm like, I don't
want to see it. I don't want to see a live action. I don't.
I'm not. I wouldn't go for it anyway. But it's like also like I don't know if they address this later down the line. But why is Ant-Man in the fucking musical when he wasn't an Avenger at the time?
Because they're trying to make money. The best part
is Ant-Man that popular in their world
compared to Hawkeye. He is.
Why?
I mean, I feel like that's even debatable because the kids in Endgame didn't even care about having a photo with him.
But they dressed up for him as Halloween in costumes, and they dressed up as Katniss Everdeen. In one of the, remember when they're walking Kate to her work, and they see those kids in the costumes. One of them is the Hulk, one of them is Ant-Man, and one of them is Katniss Everdeen.
Which part was that in?
Episode 2.
Shit, I might have actually skipped that part, but okay, fair enough.
What was I gonna say? One of the funniest parts, and I'm sorry we're transitioning back, is he's in the bathroom taking a piss. Thanos was right.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was right. It was the
yeah.
marker.
I was thinking. Sorry, I didn't remember. Sorry, I remember the message. I thought you were gonna say the funny part was the guy who asked for a selfie.
Oh, that too. Oh, that was so cringe. That was cringe as fuck. That was cringe as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy should have been stabbed. But I loved the LARPing scene in episode 2 where he's like, I fought Thanos and I gotta do this bullshit. And you could tell he's kind of enjoying the whole over dramatic. Oh, I'm getting stabbed. Oh,
Yeah.
one thing I will say that I really enjoyed was the firefighter said, "Oh, just make it worth my while, and I will give you the suit." I thought because it's happened so many times in other shows, they're like, "Yeah, I'll give you the suit," but then in the end, they never give him the suit,
Mm.
right? And then it just elongate that problem. But I liked how they're like, "Dude, this was the greatest day of my life. Here's the suit. Thank you. I got to fight an Avenger. You're awesome." And he just went along his day, and I was like, "Okay, this is rather refreshing as opposed to, oh, we're gonna drag it on for a episode or two." But yeah, I can't believe you didn't like that.
I
Damn.
didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I wasn't like that entertained by episode 2 compared to episode 1.
Fair.
Yeah. Although I will say I did episode 1. Also, I just I thought the messaging was a little weird because like I thought for a second they were going to push this idea that Hawkeye feels underappreciated. And that's why he's like, why the fuck is Ant-Man at the Battle of New York in this musical when he wasn't a hero back then in real life? But then like in the musical, even they're not like dissing Hawkeye. They still like show him some respect. And later at the dinner scene, they're at like a Chinese restaurant or whatever. The guy tells him like, "Oh, thank you for saving our city. Your dinner's on us." And he's like, "Oh no, that's unnecessary." But the guy insists like, "I don't get what they're going for with that."
I think they're just showing that the people around him know who he is, and they're still being appreciative of the fact that he did actually go and fight. They don't know how they're back, but they do know that the Avengers fought Thanos and people came back. They don't know what happened. They only know that Widow died and stuff like that. I think they're just showing
Yeah, but like,
that
but all right, no, I agree with that part that they're trying to be appreciative. But like, the battle that in the musical is about
I
the
think
New
that
York fight, right?
yeah, but again, I think the musical is more just like like nowadays where you go to a play, it's like that didn't actually happen. They're like, yeah, but it's making us money, so we don't care.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
get that, but like, what's the like? Why do it in the Hawkeye series? Like, what's the purpose of it?
I don't think there is a purpose. I think they just wanted to have it in there.
I guess I guess that makes sense, but it's kind of stupid.
Fair enough. What would you give the first two episodes, King? You could have one score or two
Collectively,
scores.
probably like an 8.
All right, and Dev,
Yeah, 8 or 9, maybe a 9.
Marissa.
9 for me. It's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I'll give it a 9 as well. I just liked everything about it. The Tracksuit Mafia they're making the show. Them
Tracksuit
and the
Mafia
doggy.
is so fucking funny, bruv. I hope they're in it for like every single episode because Jesus Christ, they're so funny.
The
should
LARPing
be.
scene, huh?
Also, can someone clarify if they explain this later? But do they explain why Hawkeye has a hearing aid?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, they did. They explained it in one of the first two episodes, I think.
Yeah, because he had
He did?
flashbacks.
I saw it in episode 1, but I don't remember him getting one in the movies at any point. So I was like, did he have hearing loss in Endgame at some point?
You would have had it over time because that's a lot of explosions for the average person to sustain
guess.
to the eardrums. Because even just standard firing normal weapons, guns, is enough to damage your eardrums, enough to force you to get hearing aids. So all the shit that he fucking heard.
They're reminding us that he's a fucking human and everybody else is a fucking god.
Yeah.
Basically.
I think it plays quite well on this guy because he's, as a character, he's quite old now,
Yeah.
age-wise.
Well, even as an actor. All right, King. This is where we let you go because someone didn't
Spoilers.
watch episode 3 and 4. Yep, spoilers.
Yeah, no worries. I'll catch you guys later.
For
Alright,
sure.
okay.
All right, guys. Well, mostly Dad because Marissa's gonna be like, I don't know how to share my thoughts. We meet Maya, and she starts interrogating both Clint and Kate because previous episode Kate tried to save Hawkeye and then she got captured herself. We get an entire the entire episode is basically a fight sequence, right? The fight within the warehouse between Maya and Clint, and then we have Kate and the other guy. I don't remember his name, but basically Maya's first in line. Then we also get the chase sequence with the cars. And then we go to her family's house. And it basically ends there at the family's house. Who wants to go first to talk about the episode, what they thought, maybe the action sequences, the bows, the trick arrows, everything?
Episode 3, I didn't enjoy. I still enjoyed it, but I feel like I didn't really watching it. At the end of the episode, there wasn't anything that made me like that stood out majorly that made me enjoy it more than the others. However, I will say that the fight with the different type of arrows, that was cool to see. Because we didn't, or as far as I'm aware, or that I can remember, we've never really had an insight into the type of arrows he has. We've only just seen them in action. Whereas now there was kind of a bit of an explanation. Oh, this one does this does that. Don't use this one. Don't do that. Do this, and then we got to see them all. So that was quite cool. I think that was a nice touch for anyone who was intrigued by that, for it to really round out the character that Hawkeye is, because obviously it plays into how smart he is as a person to create these different types of arrows. Even if they don't seem like they don't do much, in the right situation, they do everything that you need to do. The whole locking out of the system when she's trying to bypass the security, that felt really predictable that it was going to happen, but I guess there wasn't really anything else that she could have done. I'm just surprised she didn't have her own login, I guess, and didn't have to use her mom's, but oh well.
Oh, she wouldn't be able to get access to the information she was looking for.
Yes, what she
Fair
said.
enough. Yeah, but that still doesn't. That's just I don't know. So episode 3 for me, it was alright. It was good, but it wasn't anything. I didn't have much to say about it.
They do the Christmas movie marathon in that episode, or was it 4?
No, it was 4. Episode 3 was with when the son is on the phone, but Clint thinks it's his wife.
Yeah.
And Kate is basically translating for him, like, oh, I think the saddest part was when his kid's like, Dad, it's okay if you can't make it. It's fine. I understand.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck, you're disappointing your kid there, bro. Like, damn, like, you're a hero. I get it. And you got to save the world. But, like, ooh, that kind of hurts. What did you think, Marissa? What do you think of the fight in the warehouse, or just the bow and arrows?
Bow and arrows are cool.
Which one was your favorite?
Arrows?
The arrows that he used in the chase sequence.
Do you know the purple one?
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
This one was my favorite one. I like this one. I put a picture.
The
The
pin
big boy
arrow.
one.
Yeah. That
Big
was
boy.
cool.
Yes,
Didn't
sir.
expect that, but that was cool.
How did he make that though?
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to, okay?
Well, in the next episode, he had those arrows custom made, and that's why they needed to collect them. Remember? That's why he sent Kate to collect the arrows. I mean, because they're like, yeah, we can't make any more of these. So for myself, oh wait, go ahead and finish your thoughts. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I liked the fight sequence in the warehouse because it kind of showed how versatile Hawkeye is, right? He was able to escape like nothing. And he was able to calm down Kate because she was worried. She's like, oh my God, we captured, we're going to die. She's like, he was like, get shit together, we're going to be fine. He's a great teacher And I wouldn't mind him being one of the leaders of the Avengers because, like, at the end of the day, you need someone who's able to teach and actually, like, you could learn from, right? And I feel like he has the most experience over everyone else. And it'd be great to see him, like a normal, regular guy, having that role and responsibility. But yeah, like I said, I like the little fight sequence when he was in the ball pit and then he took out the tracksuit mafia. It was kind of funny. One thing you didn't mention was in the beginning of the episode when the tracksuit mafia guy is having problems with his girlfriend or whatever. He's like, I bought her 2 tickets.
Yeah.
A little,
And then-
little relationship counseling.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, they were Imagine Dragons, so that's kind of on you." That was funny. I find it interesting that Maya said that Clint relies too much on technology because of the hearing aid instead of what she does, which is just embrace her deafness. She is deaf. She has to read lips and use sign language. And then I am curious to know how she knew that Black Widow. I mean, everybody kind of knew that Black Widow was dead, I guess. But how when she asked, "How do you know that the Ronin is dead?" and he said not Scarlett Johansson, Natasha Romanoff. Well, I don't know why Kazi, the other guy, her first in command, said, "Oh, Black Widow." I want to know if there's a reason behind that, or that's how they just refer to her as. Like you guys said, the scene in the penthouse was kind of predictable, but it was kind of needed because it would have been too easy. Oh, she has access to everything. Boom, done. And yeah, we'll just stop there for episode 3 because episode 4 just picks up right off where it left off. So for this episode 3, what would you guys give it?
Yeah, 7.
7? Fair. Marissa?
8. I liked the
8.
car scene a lot.
Yes, I will agree. No, actually, no. I'll give it a 9. And one thing I forgot to mention is I like how they're showing how similar Clint and Kate are, because remember when they were doing the chase sequence, he lost his hearing aid, but they were basically saying the same thing. Oh, I should probably turn around so you could shoot better. And she was like, turn around so you could shoot better. So I kind of like how they're showing that she is capable and she is not his equal, but she could be his equal one day. So yeah, solid 9 out of 10 for me. Now, episode 10. I'm sorry, episode 10. Episode 4, Partners, Am I Right? we start
Partners.
we start off right where we left off with the sword. And again, we get this the Jack Duquesne. He apologizes for doing that to Hawkeye. He's like, "Oh, sorry." And well, I don't know if he apologizes, but I know when they're in the dinner table, he thanks him for what he did for them, aka New York, which is again a nice little callback to what happened in the previous episodes where like restaurants and other people were just being thankful and appreciative. And yeah, we go from there. From there, we go on to the tracksuit mafia warehouse with a funny little exchange between Clint and Kazi in the car.
Yeah, he
And
just chucked his gun.
Poor guy. We then move to, and again, I'm just giving you brief little points because they expand further. We have Kate working with the LARPers, and then everybody being at the house, right? From there, we then have Kate and Clint go to Maya's apartment, which they don't know is Maya's apartment. And the episode ends with Yelena Belova, which is Black Widow's sister or adoptive sister, trying to kill Clint.
Oh, that's who that is?
Yes. So there is a lot. There's a lot that happened. So we'll break it down by parts. First section was we'll go with the entire dinner sequence or lunch sequence. What did you guys think of that?
It was funny. It was a nice, good interactions. I think it nailed each character's what's the word I'm looking for? Obviously, every character now in that room, there's like this massive, huge elephant, but not everyone is aware of said elephant being known by everyone else as the same elephant. So there's like multiple elephants, but they all lean to the same elephant. But everyone's like, does he know that I know this? Does he know that I know that? Do they know that I know? So everyone's way that they're talking and the way they're interacting with each other, it's like they're trying not to be suspicious while being suspicious, while trying to be normal. So it was quite funny because it was all of them did it so well and really did portray the way they felt about the situation perfectly.
Yeah, you're right. I like how Jack was like, well, she handled meeting her celebrity quite well. If it was me, I would have basically said he would have lost his mind, which was hilarious to me because it's like this guy's over here like talking about some regular musician or swordsman. I'm not sure which it was. And he's comparing that. Oh yeah, I've to an Avenger, and I was like, okay, fair enough. You do you, my guy. And then the entire aspect of we're not friends, we're not partners, we're just working together. I will say, I don't know how you guys felt, but the mom gave me super bad guy vibes
I
Yeah.
at
don't.
the end.
She didn't give
At
me
the
bad guy vibes, but you know what she did give me? She gave me the vibes of someone who has been coerced into doing something that she doesn't want to do, and she's in too deep now. And now she's just worried about basically being caught. I don't think she's inherently the reason behind whatever's happening. I could be wrong though, but that's kind of the feeling I get.
Maybe she knows about what Jack's doing, like money laundering, I think.
Yeah, money laundering. Yeah, because the way she talked to Clint in the elevator, well, Black Widow was special, right? She's dead. It's like, yo, my guy, that the wound is still fresh. What you doing? Why are you being so rude? And then she really wanted and insisted that he drop the case. And he's like, I can't drop the case. Like, doesn't matter. I can't drop the case. I don't know. She just gave you bad guy vibes. Hopefully, she's not. I mean, she probably is. I don't read. I don't read these comics. I only read Spider-Man comics. So if it is something and you know, then don't spoil us. We appreciate it. If you didn't. From there, the conversation then shifts between Kate, her mom, and Jack, and how people shouldn't be alone for the holidays, right? And that's when we get the Christmas scene, Marissa, where they watch the Christmas movie marathon. They talk a bit. She finds out that he's Ronin, and then they try to figure out a plan on how to figure out what's going on. What did you think of that? Since I know you talked about the Christmas movies.
I liked the interactions they had. Like, it looked like they were finally like getting along. But then at the end of the episode, it reversed.
Yeah. Now we won't try to jump around too much, but do you think he's doing that because he's basically being the adoptive father, if you will, and he's being protective of a kid, or is it because he's just I don't want a partner, get away from me?
I think it's protective.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
I
would.
think it's protectiveness.
And then what did you guys think of the entire little conversation they had about him being Ronin and all that?
I enjoyed it.
And
The coin trick.
I enjoyed the
You guys,
conversation, and I think it was executed well. However, I do kind of wish that there was more time spent on that kind of plot point on the identity of Ronan, because I feel like it's a very important factor. But we still got a few episodes left, so it might come back around.
yeah. I liked how he was opening up because they were asking basically each other questions like we did in a previous podcast. And when she asked him, "Oh, what's the best shot you took?" and he's basically saying, "Well, the best shot I took was the one I didn't because I got to meet my best friend Black Widow." And that's when he starts closing up again because I feel like the wound for him is still fresh, and this man is clearly suffering from super PTSD,
Oh
and the
yeah, for
fact that
sure.
the fact that he's still able to move around the way he is and just interact the way he does is fucking incredible. So I found it I didn't find it funny, but I found it enjoyable how he was opening up, but then he still had those reservations. He's like, "No, I can't. I just go to sleep. Good night. Bye." And then the next morning, he's just like, nothing happened. So it's kind of interesting to see that little dynamic play out. It's very clear that by the end they'll be friends, but still. From there we could jump to the car sequence, right? Where Clint is talking to Kazi as basically telling him, tell Maya to drop it. I don't want nobody dying. And then Kazi's trying to get his gun. It's not there. His knife, it's not there. His other knife is not there. And then Clint's like, don't, just stop. Just my guy.
Just give it up, man. I'm just here to talk. We're going to talk.
And then at the end of the fucking conversation, so can I have a comeback? My guy, he's still an Avenger. He's not gonna give you. He's not gonna give you back the gun. And he just throws it.
Like,
And he's
let
like,
me think about that.
Oh, that entire sequence was fucking fantastic. What did you guys? We'll wrap this up really quick. There's not much more besides the final scene. Actually, no, we didn't talk about. We didn't even need her mom's computer because apparently Clint's wife is a super spy. She knows Russian and is able to hack shit and figure out all this information.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about.
Bitch could have talked to the fucking tracksuit gang. God damn it.
She could have literally been like, because fucking Clint's like, yo, can you look up this thing for me? And then she does, and he's like, oh yeah, Jack's the leader or the founder of this shit. And that's how they find out that it's money laundering. And Kate's like little shook because she's like trying to give Jack a chance because he sees how happy he makes his mom or her mom. It's like she could have done this the whole time, bro. Like, why did we need to go to Kate's house? That was a waste of a trip.
No, that was for Cosby.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. I hope we learn more about the wife because I do like the fact that they're showing that the wife isn't just some regular schmuck. Right? They're showing that she's done shit. She lived her life too. Can we talk about how their relationship is like super couple goals, right? It's fucking great. It's fucking great. Oh shit, I should have a monitor. But yeah, going back to the ending of the sequence, what did you guys think of the fight at the end with Black Widow, with Maya, with Kate, and with Clint?
Really well choreographed, but at the same time, it felt a little bit. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of just felt a little bit all over the place. Which I think it kind of works because we've obviously got 3 experienced fighters and then we've got Kate. And Kate's kind of doing anything she can to help and not die. So I guess it kind of works. It was a fun fight to watch, but I don't think it was all that.
I don't think. I know why Hawkeye cut her off and like through the lights and stuff. I don't think he should have though, because I don't know. Maybe it would have gone differently, like a little bit. Actually, no, because if she took the time to like pull her up, it would take more time, like for him to be exposed. You know.
Yeah. I I get what I get what you're saying, Dev, that it did feel all over the place. But I think that was intentional because it was super small area, even though it was a roof. But that roof, if you remember, had that little space where you could literally fall, where Kate almost fell towards the end, right? I was like, damn, they're gonna kill her off right there. But I was like, wait, no, they can't kill her off,
Yeah.
or they can. I don't know.
They
Fucking
can.
multiverse is gonna fuck everything up, so anybody could die, I guess. But yeah, it felt I when they were focusing solely on Clint and Black Widow fighting, I thought that was good. And when they were focusing solely on Maya and Kate fighting, I thought that was good. But when they tried to do it all at once, it was like, calm down. It's a clusterfuck. Okay, having a little. I'm not having a hard time keeping up, but it's kind of all over the place, and it's just not as enjoyable. And yeah, you're right, Marissa, but I kind of like regarding cutting her off, but I like how she was basically, nah, fuck that. I'm still helping you. Don't be stupid. I'm here. I'm your teammate. Let's go. And it isn't until the very end where he sees that it's a Black Widow that he's like, nah, homie, this is too much for you. Get the fuck out. Gotta do it. You can't do it.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh,
but
the
yeah,
zip line not working was funny.
Oh, that was good.
I thought Maya was
that,
gonna like cut off the line or something, but she didn't. So, oh well.
I think she used the zip line too, right? Or
Yeah.
did she take? Okay, fair enough. She really wanted both of them dead. She's like, no, I'll kill you both. I like how she was trying to help the Black Widow, and the Black Widow was like, nah, bitch, this is my mission. Get the fuck out. All right, that's it for this episode. Actually, we didn't even talk about the LARPers.
Oh
I totally
yeah.
forgot. What did you guys think of the LARPers scene at the house?
What happened to her bag?
Who cares about the fucking bag?
Well, obviously she did.
What did you think of the LARPer scene, Dev?
I enjoyed it. I also do want to know what happened to the bag, though.
Fair enough. I like how Clint established that we can't make any more of these special arrows. We need these arrows to be able to use them again, or else I'm just a regular archer. I'm kind of surprised that the cop was willing to fucking tamper with evidence just to give Hawkeye his arrows back. And when he's like, "I'm not here for a play," excuse me, we're a guild, and they were just wearing the suit, their custom suits or whatever. I thought it was a great little callback to episode 2. Hopefully, none of them die. It'll be kind of sad if they die. So,
I don't know why they would die.
It's a Marvel show. They're regular people. It could happen.
True.
All right. What did you guys give this episode?
An 8.
Yeah, I was gonna go
Marissa?
with an 8 too.
Fair. I'll give it a yeah. I agree. Solid 8, 8 or 9. Doesn't. It was good. All right. That's it. Oh well, we should probably get King back so he could get his outro. I'm not giving the outro.
He's the outro guy.
Yeah, he's the outro guy. What the fuck?
Just not the same.
It's not. It's not the same.
People don't feel like we're saying bye if he doesn't do it.
Saying bye
it's
to who?
The outro.
People.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, well, thank you all for listening to our review podcast of the Hawkeye series. We will try to watch the next episodes once they come out collectively, and I think that based on what we've seen so far, we predict a good ending. Otherwise, we'll stay tuned for the subsequent Marvel TV shows that come out, such as Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and various others. But until we get to the point of watching those on Disney Plus and making podcasts about those, keep watching whatever comes out. Keep listening to our podcast, and we hope you all have a great day.
Bye, guys.
See you later, guys.
Bye.